I'm Natalia Bonner. Welcome back. Okay, I'm super excited to be here today and share this really fun background filler design. Now you could use this like all over a quilt as an edge-to-edge design, make it bigger and it would be a little bit looser on a quilt, or do it really tight like I'm doing here today and quilt it as a background filler. So before I actually start into the quilting, I do want to let you know this quilt that I'm quilting on today is one of my class samples. All year through 2022, each month I am releasing a brand new class. So this particular sample is from my brand new class, the Double X class. So what is that? In this class, I teach you 12 different ways to machine quilt a Double X quilt block. It's a really fun class. I love all of these designs and I know you're going to love them too. So you can find all the details, pick up my rulers, everything that you see here. Besides the panel, that's available through Honest Fabrics, but you can pick everything else up over on our website, peaceandquilt.com. I am doing all my quilting here today using my Gamble 22-inch machine. This is hand-guided quilting. I have my stitch length set at 13 stitches per inch. I'm using sew fine thread on my top, bottom line thread on my bobbin, and the batting that I'm using here is one layer of the Quilter's Dream Poly Deluxe. Let's hop over to my machine and let's get stitching. Some of my favorite designs are when I just take all of the elements and combine them together. So that's what we're going to do here today. I'm going to start out this design by selecting a few of my favorite fillers. I'm going to combine swirls, pebbles, clams, and this fun kind of triangle echo design. So to stitch out this design, I start out with a swirl. Now you can stitch with any design you want. I could start with a pebble or the clam, whatever you want. Really the thing that I focus on when I stitch out a design like this, obviously, is sticking with my density. I am quilting heavy, so I want to make sure that all of my quilting stays heavy. I don't want to have areas with a lot of loose, open, large spaces. From there, I started out with the swirl. So to stitch a swirl, I'm always thinking ahead. Think about swirl into the center and then leaving enough space to get myself right back out of that swirl. And then from there, start playing. You'll see that as I stitch out pebbles, generally I'll stitch 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4, but pebbles are a great little fill just to add in and fill in those random spaces. When I stitch the clam fill design, I'll start out by stitching a teardrop shape and then adding a few echoes to the outside of that, working back and forth. Now again with that shape, when I stitch that out, I might stitch 1 or 2, I might stitch 3 or 4. Sometimes it might just be 1 and I'm okay with that. Anytime I stitch a design like this, something that I always like to think about is echoing is your friend. So if you ever feel like you get stuck in a place or somewhere you don't want to be, just add some echoes and move on to the next. So I'll give you a minute and let you watch as I just really play around with all of those fillers, adding in wherever I feel necessary. Now the quilt that I am quilting on here, I am using this in my outside border, and I will also use it in my sashing. I quilt on a Gamma 22-inch machine, so this is loaded on my long arm. On my machine, I work most comfortable from left to right. So I started quilting here. The view that you can see is if you're standing behind my machine. So I start quilting on the left side, and what you can see here, working across the top border on that quilt. Now, as far as my sashing goes, I will quilt those as I quilt my blocks. So again, work from left to right and fill the sashing in with that same design. I love this design. Using that blue thread really just added that extra element of interest. I hope you all found just a bit of inspiration, and if you want to see how I quilt all 12 of these blocks on this adorable quilt, make sure you do hop over to our website, peaceandquilt.com, where you can register for my brand new class, Let's Stitch XX Quilt Blocks. Have a great day, everybody.